I've been chatting this morning with the people organizing the conference, with Max, and I've seen in the last weeks the speakers that were before me this morning. For sure, that we're going to show many things, many important things, many systems, many solutions, impressive solutions. To say, okay, we are not doing anything different than any other. We are not more innovative than Port of Hamburg or DP World. We have good friends in Fremantle, Australia, Michael. But we have the same challenges, all of us, which are pressing us. Security, growth, consolidation, big vessels, less customers, more operations. I heard this morning, 6,000 movements in 24 hours. If half of them are import, the day after will be a nightmare around the city. Highways, bridges, gates, a nightmare, a lot of traffic to manage. And efficiency, okay? I don't have to explain you about that. But now we're talking about smart port logistics. But the smart something concept applied to cities, to ports, to roads, to traffic, to anything. It's just managing information, to be more efficient, to have a forecast, to do a better real-time management. But first, we want to know what we want to smartize. We heard this morning about smart traffic in the port, perfect. Smart operations at the quay, perfect. Smart anything. But who is the user of this? It's the operator, it is the customers, it is the citizen, why not? And which kind of information shall we offer, analyze, transform, present? What is sure, we have many sources of information around the ports. We have a lot of sensors, Internet of the Things, the TOSs of the terminal, port management systems, PCSs, logistics, the city, road rate, traffic informations. Very good systems that will remain. We need them for operations. Even we have good connections, IT connections to hinterland and foreland. All these accessible to networks, basically on the internet, mobile networks, and many others. And we have, we were presented by Cisco some of these solutions. All the big things we are here in IT. This is not an IT conference, but we all have heard about GIS, big data. OK, big data is a mess, or not. How to treat it, which information we need, how we can correlate of this information to get acknowledgement, to take the right decisions. We have to manage the contents. We need cybersecurity on all of this information. Don't forget about that. Never forget about that. An incident about that can break your port. Okay, we administrate devices, a lot of devices, different devices, where are coming. All these IT new functionalities are there. We are not inventing anything. What we have to do is to present them to the users. Okay, we have to manage all this information, how to present it, mobile applications, smart applications going to this information, dashboards. We've been hearing about KPIs, perfect. We can have KPIs on road traffic to the port. It's great. But maybe big customers of the port, shipping lines, terminal operators, even the government, need combined information. Why do we have to isolate the traffic systems from the vessel systems, from the weather forecast systems? How can we combine them, give them intelligence, and to measure and make the forecast of operations? Which traffic will there be in the roads next week? If we don't have information from sea carriers, we are not going to be able to know that. We have to combine all the information there with this big data storage and present it to dashboards. Of course, alarms, operations, real time, also necessary, and data analysis. Always data analysis from anyone. But on top of this, who is a user? We have two kinds of users, basically. We've been the whole morning talking about business applications for truck drivers, for port operators, any other. But in most countries, port authorities, I belong to one, belong to the government. City, regional, national, it depends. Belonging to the government. And who is the shareholder of the government? It is the citizen, which is voting. They need services. Integrations of ports with cities are very important. We also have to give information and help this management for individual citizens. We need services for them also. That's basically, on the bottom we have the port operations that will remain there. We need them. They are generating the information. But on top we need the smartPORT concept. That's completely broad. You can take the pieces what you need. It's just a picture. This is smartPORT concept, which is getting all this information and managing it, adding all the value that the users on top need of this information. Our approach is a two-direction approach. Top to bottom, bottom to top. The first is to think, what do we have to measure? Which information we have to offer? Which statistics do we need? Which forecast? Which kind of virtual operating center? Congratulations, Port of Hamburg. Okay, that's a great idea, which is something. 99% of the operating centers in the port, when you enter them physically, they have a lot of screens, different systems, more or less integrated. Okay, that's a mess. It's a nightmare. The real operating center is your tablet at home through the internet, and on a website you can access everything. That's a real operating center that we need. The concept of control tower in ports, okay, it's completely old. It's from the 19th last century. You don't have to see the vessels. No one goes on top of the tower to see the vessels coming in. There are systems for that. You do it comfortably from your office. You don't need to go up the tower. Tower is for some kind of emergencies, and if it's not foggy. Okay? You don't have to depend on a tower to control the operations. You depend on the real-time information. And from bottom to top, of course, sensorization. Cisco was talking about that. We need sensors. We need sensors for optimizing the operation itself, and also for adding this information bottom to top, and making available all pieces of information. On the level at the bottom, most of this system used to be closed. We have to open them. We have to give freedom to information to flow, which is something in the culture where I come from, this bureaucratic Mediterranean culture. It is nothing easy to be done. No, this is our confidential information and so on. Okay, everything I can get through the internet is not confidential. Give it for free, and give it with quality. Okay? And the questions we still have to discuss in our port. Who is going to invest on this? Is it the port authority? Is going to make our own smartPORT platform? Or are we going to use something that already exists, something in the cloud? Are we going to reuse the infrastructure of the smart city projects which are ongoing now? For instance, in the city beside of us, whose name is Valencia, it's clear. And we have to still to define our SMAC strategy. This is a very IT concept. Social networks, never forget about them. Emergencies, please, tweet them. It's the easiest way. If you have a website and you have a big emergency, it's going to be collapsed. Use the big social networks. Multimedia, of course. If you want to teach something, use a video. Don't write it. Analytics, and of course, go into the cloud. Thinking on IT because I'm the IT manager. And basically, this is the approach of what we are thinking about. Just keep in your minds the picture of layers from the information to the user, how it has to be managed. So, I'm safe. I'm on time. It's still 10 seconds to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Safe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for your time.